One of the many things I love about the Alien franchise is the overall design, especially of the spacecraft and the vehicles. And over the years, those spacecraft and vehicles have been brought home to us in various toy forms. But in my opinion, there was only one company that I think did it the absolute best, and that's Galoob. Of course, Galoob's known for their Micro Machines toys in the 80s and 90s, but around 95, 96, they released a series called Action Fleet. And it's basically licensed properties from movies that they brought home in playset and vehicle form. And without a doubt, my favorite has to be what they did for Aliens in the Aliens films. As the case with a lot of toy lines, there are some things that never saw the light of day. This Outer World playset really gives you scenes from the entire film. Would have been awesome if they would have released this. Of course, the scout vehicle that Newt's family takes out onto LV-426, that was something they had planned to release. Interesting choice that they were going to do that, but it would have been cool nonetheless. And they also had this multi-pack of figures and vehicles, which also never saw the light of day, which is a damn shame that none of those came out. The first one we're going to open up here and look at is the Narcissus, the ship from the end of Alien and the beginning of Aliens, Ripley's escape vessel. And I love the design of the box, first and foremost. You got the xenomorph on the left-hand side, the eggs leading up into the hive. It looks like it's part of the box. Really, really awesome. Of course, on the side, you get a little detail of what it looks like inside the ship to preview, to encourage you to want to buy this awesome vehicle playset. I can't blame them. Great advertising for their own vehicle on the box there to get you excited about it. On the back of each of these boxes is like a technical layout and a blueprint with some factoids about the ship. Really, really awesome. And of course you can see what figures are included, but I love all the detail that they include on the back of the package for each of the vehicles in the Action Fleet line. Flipping the box around to the other side, we see some more features that this vehicle playset comes with, and of course the artwork that carries around through the entire box. So let's crack her open and see what we got. Again, I love that these boxes open very easily, and if you wanted to put them back in the box, you could, but honestly, I can promise you, once you get the playsets and vehicles out of the box, you're going to want to keep them there because they're really great, full of detail, but we'll get into that as we unbox it more. So yeah, displayed beautifully. I mean, right here, so you can sort of see the ship at an angle. When you're looking at it on the store shelves, you can see what figures come with it. Really great job of leaving nothing to the imagination for you. Each vehicle comes with some sort of stand, and I think that's a brilliant idea because it displays awesome on top of the stand. And the stand itself really has a Geiger aesthetic, something you may see in the engineer ship. So I really appreciated all the attention to detail. The beautiful glossy Aliens logo there in the front with Action Fleet beneath it. Really, really cool. I'm sure we're all very familiar with the annoying wire twist ties that just about every toy comes packaged with. I get it. You want to keep the item secure, but at the end of the day, I just usually snip them just to get to the point, cut to the chase so I can get the damn thing out. But I gotta say, when I first picked up the Narcissus and I was looking at it and everything, I thought to myself, this feels bigger than I thought it would be, which is odd. You see it there in the package. It's got an awesome package where it's displayed. You can see the size of the toy, but once you're holding it, it's like, huh, okay, this actually has a bit bigger size. But with that being said, I'm gonna sound like I'm contradicting myself. With something this small, they do pack in a ton of detail, and they don't sacrifice playability for that reason, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I was really impressed. I mean, it looks like what you would see on the screen, right? It's got all the details. And of course, when you open it up, you've got a whole nother world at your fingertips to play out scenes from Alien and Aliens. And I find it all very neat. You know, the interior may not have, and same with the exterior, the paint detail may not be at a very high level where there's a lot of texture and different colors, but it still has it where it counts in the sculpt and the mold of these vehicles. It's all done extremely well. I really love how you can open up this back bay door and see right through into the interior of the craft through the front windshield. Obviously all by design, but it's something small that I thought was really, really interesting. When investigating the interior more, man, it's just full of surprises. There's little Jonesy inside of here. I was so pleasantly surprised. Jonesy. Once Bodie saw there was a Jonesy figure, he's like, game over, man. I'm taking this toy. That's fine, he can play with it every once in a while. But yeah, another cool feature. The Xenomorph pops out of this corridor. Just to give it some more playability. Like I said, I'd mentioned it earlier, but I was really pleasantly surprised with this one. It's the last one that I got to finish out the Aliens Action Fleet line by Galoob. And I actually picked it up at Texas Frightmare Fest this year. So I was happy to pick it up and open it and share it here with everyone at 2-Day Rentals. But couldn't be more happy with a Narcissus by Galoob from their Action Fleet series. The next one we're going to take a look at is the APC Armored Personnel Carrier. Packaged very much so the same. Great artwork on the front. Aliens logo right there, so it just grabs your attention when it's on the store shelves. As you flip it around, again, that hive artwork with the eggs, showing off some of the features of the vehicle to beg your parents, please, please, please let me take this awesome piece of Aliens merch home with me. And you know, funny thing, I never saw these in the stores when I was younger, not once. So it's something that I found out about later, and I guess they just didn't make very many of them. They're not easy to come by. I was lucky enough to find all these at a price that I could afford, very reasonable, but they do go up there in price when you're looking for them. But of course, on the back, again, we continue with that theme of seeing what figures come inside. This one comes with a Hudson figure and a Warrior Alien, which is cool. And of course, the awesome blueprints and facts about the APC itself. So really awesome detail. Rotating the box to the other side, you see the turret gun, which slides down on its tracks and rotates. A must-have feature for me if I was going to spend my hard-earned money on this thing. And of course, on the bottom, I failed to mention on the other box, you see all the vehicles they had available. I don't have the Predator ship, and actually I think that one in particular is kind of hard to come, maybe the hardest to come by. I've never seen it out anywhere. I've only ever seen it for sale for a very high price on eBay. But nice little advertisement for the entire line of larger vehicles they had in the Aliens and Predators universe. Much the same as the other box, very easy to take out of the package. You don't have to destroy the box doing so. Thank you, Galoob, for doing that. I open most of my toys anyway, and a shout out to everyone that did vote to have this as my next video. I appreciate the vote, and I was happy to, again, share this with you here at 2-Day Rentals. But again, this one comes with a stand, and a little bit different than what we saw in the other one. It looks more like some industrial pieces from LV-426, and the vehicle stays secure there. Nice, so you can display it very easily. And here's what you get in the box, right? APC vehicle, Warrior Alien, and Hudson. And, Hudson, this Hudson or Hicks, right? What is it, Private? The figures for Hicks, which I'll show here in a minute, look very much the same as Hudson. So, go figure. But that's okay, just another day in the Corps. It would have been cool if they had some varying detail between Hudson and Hicks, but that's all good. Cutting to the chase here, no pun intended, or maybe intended, doesn't really matter. We get the vehicle out of the package, and again, much the same as the Narcissus, just felt bigger than I expected it to be. Odd, but fun detail. Again, not this paint job that's executed at a high level to give it texture and everything, but the point comes across. You know, rotating turret on a track, must for me. Gotta have this in the APC. And so it actually has a grinding transaxle sound. No joke, whenever you move the tires around. Turning it to the other side, of course, the door slides open for the troops to pile in and out of, and the little hatch opens in the front to reveal the interior of the APC. Again, outside of the paint job, right? It's not super detailed on the inside. You have everything that the APC has to offer. The driver's seat, the section commander seat where Gorman would sit, and some room in the back for more Colonial Marines. A great representation of the APC. You know, again, the paint job may not be highly textured or detailed, but there's room to customize it if you want. One of the cool things that I thought too, when I turned it over, there's actually a smash xenomorph, right? They run over one in the film, and here it is represented at the bottom of the APC. So really great detail by Galoob, making a fun little Easter egg on the APC vehicle. I have like a bag full of these little soldiers, and I don't remember what they came from. I've had them since I was a kid. I think they were part of a much larger playset, but nonetheless, they scale perfectly to have some extra figures in your fire team to fill out the space inside the APC. I kind of wish the back part where the turret gun is at lifts up too, but you know, there's benches back there to sit figures on. It just doesn't lift up, which is kind of a shame. But overall, extremely happy with the M577 APC vehicle. Tons of fun to play with, great detail, and just overall really happy with it. Last and most certainly not least, the UD4 Cheyenne dropship. I was most excited about this one for several reasons. We'll take a quick look at the package. Very cool, much the same as the other package, showing off some features of the vehicle and what it brings to the table, enough to get you super excited. And on the back, of course, we have all the cool technical details and blueprints. Much the same as the others. Box opens up with great ease. You can display it back in the box if you want, but this one's definitely staying out of the package for me. And I was most excited about this one, the UD477 Cheyenne dropship, for many reasons. First off, it's iconic, right? I mean, it's just an iconic design. And second, it comes with a Pharaoh figure, which I'll show in a little bit more detail later. But I think it's the only official Pharaoh figure, standing at under an inch tall. But, you know, nonetheless, I do think that this particular vehicle has a little bit more detailed paint job than the rest of them. Again, it's nothing that's going to be highly detailed with texture and everything like that, but I think they went the extra mile with this one. And obviously you have to have the wings that fold in and out. It's a must. It's one of the unique characteristics of the spacecraft, and I couldn't be more happy with this damn thing. I just am yearning for the day I can get my hands on a large one that scales with the Kenner figures, or maybe one day I'll attempt to make my own. I've actually thought about that, and that may be something I do soon, creating a dropship on a much larger scale. But nonetheless, this is what we have here. And of course, the hatch opens up at the bottom. You can put a mini APC in there. I'll showcase that here in a minute. But all in all, just really taken aback by this amazing toy. And they did a fantastic job from top to bottom. The stand is identical to the Narcissus, and here is the Pharaoh figure. Just bravo, right? That's really awesome. They showed her some love. Again, one of my favorite characters, probably just because I have a lot of respect for anyone that can fly an aircraft or a spacecraft for that matter. And man, she handles it well. She drops in the pipe 5x5, and unfortunately she doesn't make it too far into the movie, but a really neat addition, a Pharaoh figure that they included that. And here we see our Hicks figure. Not much different than Hudson, but that's okay, right? It's a tiny little figure. It's hard to pack in a lot of detail. Maybe they could have done something with the helmet off and a shotgun in his hand, but setting up the figures inside the cockpit, you know, it may not have all the features and bells and whistles and little hidden Easter eggs that some of the other vehicles in the Action Fleet line do, but it has it where it counts, and I think it's really cool that you can actually put the mini APC inside the hatch down there. So very pleased with this. It's probably my favorite one just because I think all in all it's my favorite ship from any of the films. Even though I'm not opening all of the micro machine size vehicles I have the rest of the two in this collection. I did want to open up this one for the APC and also the Queen figure, but as you see, the APC fits in there really nice. You can have it roll out and go into combat, and I believe NECA did a line of vehicles for the Aliens films back in the mid-2000s, and those are really neat. I don't think like the cockpit opens. I don't think it comes with any figures. I do think that one does come with a mini APC that fits in the bottom. But how cool is this, man? And like I said, definitely the one I was looking forward to the most. And since I had it open for the APC, why not take out the derelict ship? Added bonus, right? Need to have that. Very cool on a much smaller scale. Talk about packing in detail in a small little vehicle, but the Queen was one I was really excited to get, and it's really a shame that there wasn't a miniature power loader figure. I think the Outer World playset they were gonna release had a Queen, a power loader that would fight alongside the Queen. But there's the other Colonial Marine figure. I think this one's another Hicks, but hey, just more to add to the arsenal. These playsets are so kick-ass, and I did a little video on the Alien playset a couple months ago, the interior of that, what it looks like. I really wished we got a playset for Aliens, like the Outer World playset with all the different scenes from the movie. It would have fit right in with the rest of these vehicles. So I'm just over the moon excited to share this with you. Again, thanks to all those who voted to have this as my next video. I may try doing that again somewhere down the line. Really enjoyed taking these out of the package. It's like being a kid again, right? And these are ones that, you know, if you can find them at a decent price, pick them up. And I think you'll really enjoy them. They display beautifully, and hopefully here pretty soon I'll get around to opening up some of the other ones I have. Like I said, I do have the other miniature vehicles from Aliens, the other collection. I have some of the vehicles and figures that are in these packages, so I didn't feel the urgency to open them up now, though I will get around to it in the near future. I plan on doing another video talking about the big Predator playset that I have, the Predator bust that's very similar to the Xenomorph bust, so be looking forward to that. And please let me know, are these things you'd like to see in your collection? Would you have liked to seen them do more? I know I would have. A power loader would have been awesome, or maybe a big Sulaco playset that some of the vehicles could have fit inside, or definitely that Outer Worlds playset. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on these. Do you have any Action Fleet lines from different movies? Please chime in. I love the conversation with my viewers. It's why I do it. I nerd out on this stuff all the time. And if you're new here, it really means a lot that you stopped by and checked out my channel. Do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, share it with your friends. It would mean a whole hell of a lot to me. And it's like I say at the end of all my videos, let's be kind as we rewind and fast forward through time. Thank you so much for stopping by 2 Day Rentals.